Hello and welcome to my Saudi Arabian Grand Prix driver predictions, the series in which you guys, the audience, can get involved. By following that link that is in the top line of the description, you can submit yourself into the Audience Prediction Championships. And as we head into the last two rounds of this epic Formula 1 season of 2021, what do you expect will happen at this seemingly unfinished Formula 1 circuit, with all of the latest pictures coming out where they're just sort of washing the tarmac and getting it ready, yet it starts tomorrow? But with all of that out of the way, let us jump on into my Saudi Arabian Grand Prix predictions for qualifying, the race, and one bold encompassing statement. So, how exactly does this series work? By following that link in the top line of the description, you'll be asked for your top 5 for qualifying, your top 5 for the race, and one bold encompassing statement. Now, there are a few rules regarding all of this. You can make as many submissions to that link in the description as you like, right up until the start of Q1. I won't be accepting any submissions after the start of Q1. So if you would like to wait all the way until the end of Practice 3 to get a really good feel of what could be expected for this weekend, then by all means do that. Or if you want to be more like myself and get your predictions submitted in well before any of the weekend's action starts, there is also no detriment to that either. Equally, all of these top 5s are pre-penalties, so ignore any incoming grid penalties or any in-race penalties as well. This is the end result of when they crossed the line at the race and when they crossed the checkered flag at the end of Q3. And then for the bold statements, that can literally apply to any portion of the weekend. It can apply to something specific in practice, qualifying, the race, or just anything in general around the whole weekend. Now, of course, there is a small little point scoring system made for this. You will receive 2 points for a driver in the correct position inside your top 5 for qualifying, and 1 point if the driver is inside the top 5 but not in the correct position. Exactly the same is then done for the race, and then 5 bonus points are given for your bold statement, for a maximum of 25 points for the weekend, which coincidentally no one has as of yet earned the full 25 points this season. The closest we've come to is 22. And just briefly going over the leaderboard of the 133 unique individual entries to this season, we have Evan Darcy leading the way from Arturo Salazar and Joe Bischoff. Now, of course, all of these people have entered into near enough every single round of the season, as we've picked up a couple more throughout the midpoint as we delve down into the high 70s and low 50s. But not to worry if you see yourself in the middle portion of these tables, as I have created a average points for the entries that you have made leaderboard, which takes the number of entries that you have taken and will divide that by the points that you have earned across those entries. So if you see yourself high up in that leaderboard, you know you are an exceptionally good predictor. You don't have to be super high up in this leaderboard here. However, that average points leaderboard will be displayed in a video that gets released on Sunday or Monday, which will actually be a live race reaction, the final one for this season, as it starts at 5:30 UK time, so I will be able to actually watch it. But with all of that out of the way, let us jump on into my submissions for this weekend's Saudi Arabian Grand Prix around the Jeddah circuit. For qualifying, interestingly, I've gone for a Valtteri Bottas pole position. Now, I think we could be in for a wee bit of a surprise qualifying session, with Max Verstappen lining up in P2 with championship rival Lewis Hamilton in P3. I feel these three are going to be separated by the thinnest of margins, with Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari putting it P4 with that massive upturn in pace that they have had, especially over McLaren in the past couple of races, and Pierre Gasly in P5 in the AlphaTauri, as he has had so many top 6 starts that have sort of gone under the radar, whereas Sergio Perez in the other Red Bull, who I haven't put in this top 5, has sort of floundered just a little bit in qualifying. Not to say he's going to have another shock Q2 exit, as I feel that's the last of them this season, but I just don't think he's going to be able to outperform Pierre Gasly, who will be able to put it in P5, but behind Charles Leclerc, who will punch above the weight of that Ferrari. Then as for the qualifying top 3, like I said, the thinnest of blanket margins across them. We know that Hamilton is going to have his ridiculously OP power units put back into the car for these last 2 races. However, much like a brand new set of tyres, they're exceptionally good for the first couple of laps of the stint because you have that ridiculous advantage, and then that advantage peters off and it's no longer as strong. Yes, it's still going to be a small little benefit to him, but nowhere near as significant as it was in Brazil. And from qualifying, we will then delve on in to my race top 5. And for a Grand Prix victory, number 2 of the season, I've gone for Valtteri Bottas. Again, massively out of the blue, with Lewis Hamilton in P2 and Mercedes 1-2, and Max Verstappen maintaining his podium position in P3. It feels like a circuit that may not suit the Red Bull. It's a lot of high-speed corners which Mercedes have managed to actually nail in the latter half of the season, hence their advantage in Qatar through that middle sector, which was mostly high-speed corners. Admittedly, the other track that this is similar to is Baku, in which Red Bull were the superior car, but that was back when Mercedes was sort of floundering just a wee bit at the start of the season, and they've definitely overcome some of those difficulties that they had at the beginning portion of this year. But I would absolutely love for Valtteri Bottas to come away with race victory number 2 of the season and just one more to cap off his Mercedes career. And then in P4 for an exceptional recovery drive, Sergio Perez from a poor qualifying, but I do believe he's going to get into Q3. I just don't think he's going to get into the top 5, but he will easily for the race, as these two cars are mighty fast compared to the rest of the field. With Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari. This is a driver that I haven't often put into my top 5s coming into it for the Grand Prix. I'm equally not expecting any super big action points for this Grand Prix, but I can see there being a couple of them. It's a brand new circuit, it's going to be slippery, it's going to be dusty, the walls are super close, and it's really high speed. I could expect a couple of safety cars, but I don't want to put my money on that. I did for Qatar, and it didn't quite work. So instead, for my bold statement for this weekend, I've gone for Verstappen or Hamilton won't win. So even if it is not Valtteri Bottas who comes away with the Grand Prix victory, as long as it is not Verstappen or Hamilton, I will receive my 5 bonus points for this entry. And there we go, there are my predictions all done and dusted for the Saudi Arabian GP. Please let me know in the comments down below what you think of my set of predictions, and also don't forget to submit yours by using that link in the top line of the description. But that is all I've got for you today, guys. I hope you have enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next video with whatever and whenever I decide to make it. I'll see you guys then.